NBA free agency has continued on. We've seen some moves with Paul George now becoming a Philadelphia 76er, with Klay Thompson electing to go down there with Dallas. But who was the winner of day two? Y'all know we're going to talk about it and break it down right after this.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning in to another live call by NBA Central. I'm Bobby, and I'm joined by my guy, Stevo, is in the building. If y'all tuned in with us today, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for NBA Central, and you continue to tune in as the content continues to flow over during NBA offseason. Stevo, what's the word?
Yo, what's the word?
But hey, Stevo, today we had early. And Hayes, he was one of those guys that came out and dropped the video at 3 in the damn morning surrounding the news that Paul George signed and went ahead and got over there with the 76ers. We found out later in the day that Klay Thompson went to the Dallas Mavericks. We found out that the Dallas Mavericks, they've been picking up certain people like a guy named Najee Marshall, who I'd never heard of.
Yep.
They picked up him. They picked up Klay Thompson. And they picked up an additional player. While the 76ers, they re-signed Kelly Oubre. They went and got Paul George. They picked up Andre Drummond. And there was some other moves around the NBA. But if we had to decide between the 76ers or the Mavs or potentially somebody else, Stevo, who was the winner of day two in free agency?
I have to say it's a tie between the 76ers and matter of fact, I feel like it's like a three-way tie between those two you just named and the Clippers. Because I feel like the Clippers, although they lost Paul George, if they're able to keep Kawhi healthy, they put a solid team around them. As we know, they signed Nick Batum earlier to a $10 million contract. And then as of recently, we just learned that they got Mo Bamba for a 1-year contract as well. And I like those moves by the Clippers, but the Mavs as well. Like, I really think Klay Thompson going to the Mavs is a really good move on both sides. Like I said, it's the end of an era. I did a live show on it. I feel like it was more of a personal, like Klay was ready to get out of there more than people realize. I guess we get on that in another time. But like besides that, I like what the getting Kelly Oubre, getting Andre Drummond back, we seen that before, and we seen how much wonders and how much stress it took off of Joel Embiid, and as well as to add Paul George to the fold, and then also with them losing Tobias Harris to Detroit, that freed up some more money, as well as losing D'Anthony to the Golden State Warriors. So I talked to Hayes about it earlier when we was on live, and I was like, I don't know, that looked like an avenue where they can go possibly if they have the money now to go get somebody such as a DeMar DeRozan. Now that could take them over the hill, but as of now, I like all three. I think they all won today. I like all the moves they made.
I'm with you on that, man. I think a lot of teams, they've been moving in the right way. Like we talk about Boston and them spending crazy amount of money. I say, what else the fuck they gonna do? this is a team that just won a championship. If you got the money, spend the money. Then you talk about the 76ers. They go get PG. They re-sign Kelly Oubre, who was spectacular for them in the this past season. You go get a solid backup big and Andre Drummond for Joel Embiid. That's a W. Then you look at the Clippers. You finally come to terms that you're gonna miss out on Paul George. I know I ain't talk about him in the last little few minutes, but the Clippers, you got Nick Batum, Kevin Porter, and
forgot about him.
Who?
I forgot about him.
Yeah, and then you also sign Mo Bamba. So now you adding just in a crazy amount of depth to
Not
the
to also,
team.
yeah, like that's crazy. Like that's a solid piece of a nice amount of content. There's 3 solid players, and we all know, like, before the situation happened with Kevin, where his trajectory was going.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the Clippers, honestly, if we talking about winners, I think the Clippers probably might be the winners right now. Right now, if we talking about it, I think the Clippers might actually be the winners right now, simply because you're talking about replacing Paul George. There's no one player that they picked up is going to replace the total production. But when you add all these players in, you look at the production, you say, damn, there's some pretty good production. We got versatile guys. We got Mo Bamba who can come in and be a defensive presence, but then also can give you a little bit offensively. You got Kevin Porter Jr., who, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not gonna get into the personal stuff. That's a conversation for another platform that really needs to be had. So Drip, go ahead, call me up because we can get on his ass. But as basketball purposes, we talking about basketball. So then when we talk about basketball, this is a young player that they got at a relatively cheap deal. Then you bring in Nick Batum after trading him away. You bring him back at a deal that was okay and
favorable, very favorable.
Exactly. So I think right now it's a slight edge to the Clippers if we keeping it above.
Yeah, and I mean, I think also, like, we kind of, like, because they just got a lot of returning players, but OKC did some nice work. Like, they made sure they locked up Aaron Wiggins, they made sure they got Isaiah Joe, and bringing in Hartenstein.
I was gonna go there next.
Yeah, putting next to Chet. I think that's very solid moves. Like, as we seen how close they got to the Western Conference Finals, or to be it, was they in the Western Conference Finals? Am I tripping?
Which team?
No,
OKC?
they wasn't.
They
Yeah,
second round.
second round. Yeah. So you see how close they was to the Western Conference Finals. Those little pieces, especially with Hartenstein, could help. And we already seen what they got AC now. So, and free agency still going. They got hella picks. So who knows what else they gonna get with that.
And that's
so
the crazy
the they made.
Stevo, that's the crazy thing about OKC right now. Sam Presti, you added on without giving out anything. You ain't give up nothing. But you got an all-world defensive defender in Alex Caruso and a big that is hella versatile in today's NBA and Isaiah Hartenstein, and he doesn't have injury concerns. Now you allow him to come in, move Chet to the 4 if you want to, and you can see what can work with that. And I think that's an excellent that's a great situation to go into, in my personal opinion.
It really is. Like, that's a very now you, like, I think that's what they ran into. They had depth, but they didn't have quality depth. Now they're starting to have quality depth to this team now. So now when it gets down and rough in those games, you can have somebody to follow on some more veteran leadership. Like you said, Hardenstein just went through a war through the playoffs the last 2 years. AC has been battling as a former champion. So it's a lot of wisdom that's coming to that team right now.
I'm anxious to see what the OKC Thunder do. Because right now, me personally, I don't see a team in the Western Conference that's absolutely, you be like, bro, they can repeat. It was this year to why I said Denver could possibly repeat. Denver just lost 2 crucial pieces in 2 consecutive years, bro. Bruce Brown, then they lose KCP. Stevo, what does Denver do right now?
I don't know what they do, but they need to do something. Like, I like know the rumors out there. They're trying to get Russ. I hope Russ is not the only one y'all trying to bring in.
That's a fact.
Y'all need about 2 to 3 players, quality players, to help negate what you just lost. Because you constantly, Bruce Brown was already a rough deal. Now losing KCP, that's a blow. That's like a total chunk out the ship right there. So it's gonna have to be somebody. You're gonna have to be frugal with something. You're gonna have to be creative with some of these deals because you're gonna need somebody. And you lost Reggie Jackson. Yeah, you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, you definitely gonna have to do something because right now, as it stands, the Nuggets, they look like they're in a tough spot, bro. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it look like they're in a tough spot because last season we seen them end up without Bruce Brown, and we seen them try to pivot to Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? White guy. Can't really think about what school he went
Ron.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bron. Or I thought they was calling him Brown. Not even gonna lie to you, but
Yeah.
that's the guy that they wanted to replace Bruce Brown, and it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I believe he could potentially probably replace that, but at 21 years old, you just never know. But they just got so much money tied up into these guys right now. You got an annual average for Nikola Jokic at 55 mil, Michael Porter Jr. making 35 mil, Jamal Murray at the current as it currently stands 31 mil, Aaron Gordon at 21 mil. And then after that, you pretty much got nothing to work with, Stevo. You got Zeke Najee, Chris Brown, Julian Schwarther. I don't even know who that is. Peyton Watson, Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson, DeAndre Jordan. Okay, I know that guy. And Justin Holiday, but they not difference makers. So what the hell
No,
is the
not really.
Nuggets doing?
Hey, I don't know, but they need to do something because, like
They
I said,
definitely do.
you just gonna be sliding and sliding down, and that's how you get irritated players. That's how you get irritated star players. So you can't have that. So you something gonna have to shake.
You're right. And to last point about the Nuggets, are you surprised that it's being reported that the Joker is asking for Russell Westbrook? It's being reported that he's asking for Russell Westbrook to come to Denver. Are you surprised at that? I am personally.
I'm surprised, and it's not just because he asking for Russ. It's because he's asking. He don't ask for shit. He don't say nothing.
Mm,
So if he asks, you better go get him. I didn't even know that.
facts.
If he like Kawhi, he don't say much. If Kawhi say something, you better do it.
That's a fact. Whether you
It's
agree
that
with it
simple.
or not, that's a fact.
As simple as that. They're a star player. So and
That's a
for
fact.
somebody, it's like with Giannis. Like when Giannis said, "I need something to happen," it happened, and they paid him. That's the same thing with him. If he go ask for Russ, there's a reason why he won't Russ. I don't know why he won't Russ, even though Russ is one of my favorite players. I don't know what their vision is per se, but hey, go ahead.
I mean, I think right now, if it last, you know what I'm saying, last few points on this, I think that when you talk about Russell Westbrook and his fit with the Denver Nuggets, I don't see him as a starter per se, but I do see him as a guy that comes off the bench and give you instant offense or instant energy. He's never going to come into a game and lack energy. That's not Russell Westbrook. That's never been him his entire career. So I think they probably looking at that, or at least Joker is looking at that like, hey, we got some young guys. We know Christian Brown or Braun, you know what I'm saying, is that guy who we want to replace Bruce Brown, or maybe some of these other draft selections that we've taken in the last few years. Maybe they need a little more oomph. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Russell Westbrook can provide that push to get these guys to where we need them to be, to where we can compete. But I will say this, Stevo, the Denver Nuggets have fallen behind, and they need to catch up now because there's so many. I wouldn't say so many teams, but there are a number of teams that are ahead of them right now because they keep losing players. They keep losing players. When you lose players, you can't keep up, bro.
Can't. You got to make some moves, and you got to make some right moves. Like you can't just be making moves for moves. So yeah, like you got Dallas to worry about, got the Clippers to worry about. You even got OKC to worry about. Minnesota got better in the draft. So like it's a lot of players. Sacramento has yet to make a move, and they have opportunities to make a move. So you can't just sit back and be behind the eight ball. It's almost it's almost kind of like what Cleveland was doing a couple years before they split that 3 up. They just got comfortable and they was doing, but you gotta do better. You gotta do better. I don't know what that GM is doing, but they need to get to it.
For sure. Now we had moves that came out to where the Clippers, they signed Mo Bamba to a 1-year deal. We seen Gary Harris return to the Orlando Magic on a 2-year, $14 million deal, which is I believe is a solid deal for him. I don't think you got to go too crazy. Obviously, we seen Clay. We talked about that, and yeah, it ain't much.
Holiday went back to Houston.
Yes, I seen that. What do you think about Jason Tatum and $315 million?
First of all,
is that a win?
Just him. It wasn't just them. Them motherfuckers spent some money today.
Facts.
They not only did they give Jason Tatum $314 million, they gave Derek White a 4-year contract, $125 million. So in total, that's $439 million. These motherfuckers finna spend $500 million on 2 players.
It's nuts, ain't it? That's $600 million over $600 million between Tatum and Brown, right?
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Right now, I'm about to say that's not even adding Tatum. That's not even adding Brown into the situation. So
it's crazy.
Hey, this gonna be the core for the next 6 years, and y'all gonna have to win. And I see they putting all their chips because I don't know how the hell you think you about to sell this team with these contracts. It's like, bro, how you gonna get these motherfuckers all these money, win a championship? They be like, all right, who up this? Bro, y'all expensive as hell. Y'all already is one of the most valuable teams in the world.
That's a fact.
So they talking about they trying to sell it. I'm like, hey, good luck. That shit gonna take 3 years,
ain't it, bro? I'm with Lamont. How did Boston get all his money? I mean, I know that when you talk about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they have bird rights, so you could pretty much pay them. I know it's gonna be a hit to the salary cap, but you can still. Those are 2 players that you could say, hey, we're gonna give them what the hell we can give them. Now we talk about Drew Holiday. Now we talk about Porzingis, who already came in with a high deal. Now when you talk about Derek White, who you just gave over $100 million, what are we doing? It's just a situation that I have to dive deeper into because for some reason the NBA, y'all make talking about contracts so difficult. NFL was simple. Yeah. NFL was so simple. When the NBA, we got to talk about hard cap. We got to talk about first apron, second apron, hard cap again.
hard tax.
Mid-level exception, trade exception, disabled player exception. Like,
and we didn't even get to the free agents, the free agents, the unrestricted free agent, the restricted free agent.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, what?
The motherfucker we drafted, he from Spain, but he can't play till he 25 ass contract.
I don't be knowing, Stevo. That's just me. I'd be like, bro, can we please get some simplification of this? Because at the end of the day, this shit just be wild, if you ask me. With the NBA, shit, you don't know what contract coming out next. You don't know what's a hard cap. I don't, at least. NFL tell me they got $65 million to work with. The Bears signed Montez Sweat for 30. We got 35 more million to work with for the year. NBA, right. They say you got to sign somebody for 25 million per. You got to move somebody so you can exercise your mid-level exception. You got to stay under this number so you won't hit your second apron. It's too much. He
this age, so he can't get this mid-level exception. It's a certain exception he can get because he too old. Exactly. What?
This the old player exception. Come on, bro.
Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, it's too much, bro. Y'all got too, bro. Come on, bro. I need bullet
to talk luxury tax, man. Look. I love NBA, but when it comes to the money, it just drives me crazy. It's Hayes, Pat the designer, those the guys for that. I be annoyed with the shit.
I don't be understanding what the. I'm like, bro.
I be like, hey,
what? I be sitting here like, bro, where they get this money from?
Facts.
Like, usually when somebody used to get a max, they ain't got no motherfucking more money no more. These motherfuckers not only gave they gave this man Jaylen Brown a super max. They proceeded to get Jaylen another super max and give Derek White a max. Where the fuck is money coming from?
It was crazy, bro.
Is the TV deal like that for real?
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
Yeah, we allow y'all to get 2 more games if y'all pay Jaylen Brown some more money. We'll give y'all 2 more games.
Crazy.
But with the money we gonna get y'all could pay Jaylen Brown the max contract. Like what the what? NBA,
how was that legal?
On the real, NBA, y'all different.
Y'all gotta see
NBA, but when it comes to contract negotiations and talking with NBA, you be like, bro, damn, it's a old player exception, a trade level exception, a disabled player exception. Is it a family absence this exception? Like what, bro? We don't know what's coming next. It's too much shit.
A rehab exception.
Exactly.
Like,
what? That shit is crazy. But Stevo, anything else you want to talk about that happened during day 2 of free agency, bro? That's maybe a trade that surprised you a little bit.
Nah, everything for the most part. I mean, we was quiet about getting our guy today. I didn't expect us to it wasn't really no noise on it, but that kind of surprised me. But besides that, nah. I pretty much knew Clay was going to the Mavs.
I think the Clippers. Oh, you said you knew the Clay was going to the Mavs?
Yeah, for the most part.
Why you say that?
Just because you could just tell like it. I knew something was just telling me like, for one, if I'm not mistaken, I'm somebody correct me if I'm wrong. They during the season they offered him what, like $20 a year
to go to State. What was you saying, right?
Yeah, they offered him and he declined.
They offered him a decent amount of money. That's a fact.
Yeah, and this was a 3-year deal, $50 million.
$50 million, bro. You're not even
making 15. So you took less money.
Exactly.
So that's why I got my whole thing. Why I'm confused. So like I'm not even confused. So like when that's like confirming my thoughts when I'm saying like,
okay,
I knew he was like it was a personal move. Like I didn't think I knew it was too late.
I think it was a personal thing too, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like that when those initial talks came about, they said something or did something, and he was like, "What? Ain't no way." Because
I think
y'all found the Warriors found a way to get Andrew Wiggins paid. They found a way to get Jordan Poole paid. Would it have been equivalent to trade Klay Thompson? Probably not. Maybe a few million off. But to treat him like that, he had to say, "Fuck that shit, bro. Y'all bogus as hell, and I'm out of here."
I think it was
just
Draymond.
what it had to come down to.
It had to be the Draymond. Like, how you get this motherfucker $100 million, but you give me 48?
Exactly. That's a fact. Like, and I get it. And I'll be one of the ones that say, hey, Draymond was probably the engine of the system. But the damn engine don't go 70 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour if Klay Thompson ain't shooting them threes alongside Steph Curry. Let's keep it a buck.
Facts.
Like, I get it. Draymond was the guy. He's a major part of what the hell took place. But there is no way that you reach top speed without Klay Thompson. Literally. Oh, y'all forgot when did people forget when they was down 3-1 versus OKC Thunder? Who came through in game 6? That was Klay. Not Steph. Klay. We could probably argue in game 7 that Klay was better too, right? Probably. Clay had his shit in.
Yep.
Clay had his fair
Y'all
share of
gave
games, bro.
y'all gave motherfucking basically. I'm pretty sure this is what he feels like. How y'all give money to somebody that's costing y'all money and games?
Mm,
Cause that's just the fact of the matter is y'all
that
know
is a
how I
fact.
feel. Like I understand what Draymond brings to the table, but the amount of money they lose because or he gets lost. Like I can't act like he don't get fined, but the amount of games that they lost, especially last year, was daring. Like that was probably the most times we seen Steph be like physically frustrated.
That's a fact.
So yeah, I think it's gonna come out eventually what it really is, but it was definitely personal for him to take way lesser money to go over there.
That's a fact. Because they offered him money.
They definitely
The
offered him
Warriors
20.
offered him money.
It was 20 a year, I know.
Yes, they offered him money, but he said, fuck that. And he left. And I think him, Luka, Kyrie, it sounds good. It looks good on paper. But does Luka sacrifice? Before we go, does Luka sacrifice, Stevo? Because I think that's the only way it works. Because when he was with Kyrie, it was your turn, my turn, your turn. Now
But
you gotta
but
allow Clay to be Clay. You have to allow Clay to be Clay to be successful.
but this is my thoughts with it. It's almost like I don't really want Clay to have a turn.
Okay.
So I feel like he can have the ultimate freedom because no matter what, especially when he's in that starting lineup, when you're in that role with them, the Luka and Kyrie gonna have the undivided attention at all times.
That's a fact.
So that's just gonna leave him open. So if he make it, he not like what you said. Luka got to make that pass, which I think he will. But at the end of the day, if he just out there and they're drawing all that attention, he just sitting on that corner. He could make 15 a night just sitting at that corner or just lurking around the perimeter. You don't even got to do much.
That's a fact.
Because when he's being there, he's really gonna be the third to fourth option, which I think is what's best for him right now.
That's fair. And I think that right now, when you talk about Luka and Kyrie, I think that both of these guys should be able to rely on Clay. Simply because everything that he's gonna bring. He's gonna bring the movement, he's gonna bring the 3-point shooting. Bro, last year, people like even myself, I had to sit there and think about it like, hey, Klay Thompson wasn't as good as he normally be, but damn, 38% from the three, that's better than most of the league. So if you getting that out of Klay Thompson, you got to live with that. And Luka Doncic, me personally, I don't think Klay Thompson got anything to do with Luka Doncic. I think everything Luka Doncic wants to accomplish has to do with himself. Get your damn weight right. Get your life right. Be better prepared for those clutch time games because every NBA great tells you to go from first round to second round is different. To go to second round to third round is different. To go to third round to finals is different. Luka just realized that shit. He had to work on a lot of things individually, nothing team-wise. A lot of things internally has to happen for Luka Doncic.
Facts. And it's up to him because, like I said, it was once in him. Like I've seen, like when he came out, I've said it all the time. I see more of a brownish game when he came out of into the league, and then once he said that statement, well, it was it reminded me of James Harden when he said the league is too easy, and then I started realizing how he started to play. I was like, yeah, okay. Now he's starting to play it. It's like he took a turn for the worse because he changed up his style because he realized how to manipulate the offensive side on the American side of the game. So, but we all know trying to manipulate the game, you ain't gonna win. We've seen too many players try to do that and they never win. So, if once he learned that him getting them triple doubles and being efficient is the best way to win championships, once he clicks, hey, he's gonna be something to reckon with for years to come. But it's up to him to unlock that.
That's a fact. Last thing before we go, I got a quick question. Based off everything that you know right now, things still can change. Who makes it farther in the NBA playoffs? The Mavericks or the Sixers? Just to end it off on a good note.
Sixers.
You said that make it further?
Yeah.
Why?
The road is more easier in the East.
That's a fact.
It's that simple. It's like any given night in the playoffs, we don't know what's gonna happen. So you might think the Mavs, like I said, I like this move so much, but we don't know how it's gonna work against certain teams. Especially like you said, we said earlier how Denver is behind the 8 ball. They're not the only team that's been improving, and they're still the only day two.
Facts. All right, last thing before we get up out of here, V-Dog said, question, Bobby and Stevo, what y'all make of what I said yesterday about why PG left? Basically, Wendy and Stephen A has said this morning PG was blindsided and was promised a long-term deal by the Clips. You got anything to say to that, Stevo, before we go?
Yeah, because why the hell y'all pay this motherfucker that they ain't never here, but y'all so scared to pay me for?
Facts.
I was here for the majority of my time. This motherfucker wasn't. I don't give a damn how good he is. I'm good too.
Facts.
So I understand how he feel.
I'm with PG. I'm with you, Stevo, and Paul George. Look, gang. Kawhi Leonard, what has he done since he's been in a Clippers uniform? Not much.
Take their money.
Take their money. Wave around keys that got a crown on it. It ain't did jack shit. Me personally, as Podcast P, Paul George, I've been promoting the brand. I've been keeping up with the brand. I've been rocking the brand. I've been in the playoffs for the brand. More so than Kawhi Leonard. Y'all moved with hesitation to give him a max contract, and I don't even know why. Personally, this ain't Paul George. Personally.
Me.
But as Paul George, I'm looking at it like y'all ass tripping. Stop.
Bro.
Now I'm up out of here. So good riddance. The Clippers, y'all open up that new building. Good luck with Kawhi. Good luck with Kawhi Leonard.
And Harden and shit. Right.
Stevo,
two hurt motherfuckers.
That's a fact. Stevo, you got anything left before we get up out of here?
Hey, when news drop, we drop. Straight like that.
That's it. That's all, man. Big shout out to my guy Stevo. Big shout out to y'all in the chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel before you go. On NBA Central, we are pushing more content. We want to build this thing up. So help us get to 2K. That's the next milestone in our journey. Hit the like button. Subscribe before you go. Thank y'all so much. We're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. It's time for us to lay it down for something crazy happening in the wee nights of the hour. We're going to catch y'all